So we'll kick it off. Whoever wants to go first, ask a question, feel free to go ahead.
Hello,
Hey, what's up?
this is Yari.
What's going on, Yardi?
I have two questions for you tonight. My first question is, when will the 10K account start running on sale for people from low-income areas that really want to get in? And then my second question is, when will your silver plaques start running out to your best traders?
Yeah, so the 10K and the 25K accounts, I had actually a conversation today about those accounts. We're going to come out with those, I think within the next month, pretty much as soon as possible. We know everybody's been asking for them, and obviously those accounts give opportunities to a lot of different people across the globe and whatnot, because they're a lower entry fee. And yeah, everyone's been requesting it a lot of times. So yeah, we're going to be coming out with the 10K and 25K accounts pretty much in the next month.
All right. My second question, I once made a suggestion about the silver plaque, like the way YouTube gives it out to their subscribers and their creators, understand? And I'm asking when you will start doing yours.
So basically, with this, what would it be based on, like us giving away this type of reward?
Based on traders' performance for the whole year, like the best trader, somebody who racked up like 300K, 400K in profits the whole of the year. Something that you can put in your room to make it look like, you're a trader or something.
Yeah. So there's two different concepts that we're working on right now when it comes to like a trader plaque. One of them is we want to create this application for the community where basically people can take a bunch of different actions. So for example, they can follow us on any of our social platforms. They can create like a YouTube video, maybe explaining what the funded trader is. They can be very active in the Discord channel. So they can do all these types of actions, and then they would earn coins for each action they take. And then those coins can be redeemed for either a giveaway, for challenges, for whatever other prizes we choose, like t-shirts, whatever, swag. So that's a way for people to earn kind of their way in the community. And it helps us because it builds the community, because they're liking posts, they're sharing us, they're following us on platforms, right? Creating content for us. But then it also, obviously helps them because they can gain access to challenges and whatnot. Then when it comes to the actual funded traders, giving them rewards, that becomes a bit more complex. But at the same time, we want to do, at least for this year, at the end of the year, we want to do something called the TFT Awards. So we're basically going to give out awards at the end of the year for some of the things like you mentioned, like maybe who took the best trade, who made the most money. That's probably like the grand prize. Maybe one of the awards would be like who failed the most funded accounts. Like that'd be just something that's like a fun award. But like we'd probably pull you guys for what the awards actually would be, the rest of them. But I think doing something like that is going to be something that everyone kind of wants to have, and it's going to be like fun. Like we'll record it and like put it out on YouTube too. Yeah. And to your point, maybe we would send like a plaque or like a trophy to actually, you can have it. And that way it's just like a fun thing for you to have.
So that's all. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it. All right. So we got a bunch more people on here. I know Boston J, I invited you to come on and you to talk about some of your experiences. Because you're a funded trader, but you recently lost the account, right?
I am. So I started my trading journey in 2017. I started with I Am Academy, just like a bunch of other people. And what intrigued me the most was learning how to make money work for me. I love people, I love talking, so I was interested in building the business as well. But the trading really intrigued me. So I've been trading and watching the charts every day since then. And also, I'm a nationally certified EMT, so I've been working on the ambulance as well. But my TFT journey started around March or April. I had a lot of people telling me that I should do the challenge. And at the time, I was, I just wasn't feeling it. I was wanting to build my own accounts. And then I finally took the 400K challenge and I passed it. I went to New York in January and I spent 33 days in New York. I worked on the ambulance down there doing a travel contract. And when I left my ambulance job, they automatically made me part-time. And so I was living off the money that I had saved up. And at the time, when I started to find the trader challenge, I was really in need of some money. I got a huge payout. It was about 12% of my 400K account. And so once I received that payout, I was really in desperate need of it, and it actually changed my life. So I'm actually very, very thankful for the Funded Trader because it's real, it's legit. The way everything's structured is it's really, really good. So I'm thankful to be a part of the team.
Yeah, getting that 40. How did it feel to finally get paid out? Because it sounds like you had quite the journey over here. It took a bunch of time.
I did. It's been quite the journey. To be honest with you, it felt really, really good. I mean, the most of my withdrawals that I made through Forex or through Bitcoin, and it felt amazing because, like I said, at that time I was working part time. And I really needed that. I really needed that payout, and I got the payout in 3 days. There was no issues at all. I had that sent through Bitcoin, and it felt amazing. It really did. It felt really, really good, and it allowed me to pay bills, pay some debt off. I was able to take my son to a few places and have some fun, and I actually ended up buying me a dirt bike as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But the community is great. I'm truly blessed to be here. What you guys have done, it's legendary. And I've looked at the other companies, the other funded companies, and TFT's prices are the best that I've seen. The minimal trading days is the lowest out of all the other companies, and so man, we're leading the way. We really are.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, there's certainly a lot of things that are strong about other prop firms that are out there. And I think the best thing is that if you can find ones that are all reputable, you really can just gain access to more and more capital because obviously we have a cap on the most that you can do with us. So if you do find another one that is reliable, there's really no reason not to work with them besides the fact that you just don't have the money to sign up, because then you can just get even more capital. And what I'm hearing from a lot of the funded people with us is that they'll actually leverage some of the other prop firms so that if they're waiting, for example, to get paid out from us, they'll start to trade one of their accounts with another firm. That way, they're not losing the days or whatnot, and they're kind of staggering it. And it's worked out well for them. So I think it's great that obviously you're doubling down and the support for us is there. And we're certainly, in my opinion, building the best community around, any business that's in the industry. And that's really what we're trying to do, is we're trying to create an environment where everybody can come together, share all of their successes, but also their failures as well, and really continue to just build on all this momentum that other people are getting. Coming into the Discord and seeing, for example, this guy the other day posted in profits that he got paid out 68,000, almost 70,000, right? So it's people are low key making bank in here. And a lot of people aren't too outspoken about it because a lot of people want to remain more, privacy and whatnot, which certainly understand. But like you said, I mean, we're really creating this pretty crazy opportunity right now.
Really crazy, bro. And I'm not afraid to say it. My first payout was a $31,000 payout, after all the fees and all that. But I actually profited about 45,000 on my first withdrawal, and I ended up getting about 31. And that's more money than my ambulance job pays me, per year. That's about the same. If I work 40 hours a week throughout the year as an EMT, I only make about 33, 35 before overtime. And so being able to make that in 1 month was legendary. And so the Funded Trader, provided the opportunity for me. And so truly blessed and truly grateful. I really am.
Yeah, and I think there's a video that we're gonna put out most likely this week, and there's been a lot of talk about whether prop firms are a scam. How do prop firms actually run their business behind the scenes? And in that video, I touch on, I think it's 5 or a few different points, basically that these influencers on Instagram and YouTube, are coming out and they're saying about prop firms. And I think it's going to be an important video for people to understand, because no matter which way you shake it, whether you're depositing in prop firms or depositing directly into a brokerage account, you're fighting a war against the markets. You're fighting a war, and the money that's being made from the markets, there's a big quote that's always out there, and it's the money's being transferred from the impatient to the patient. That's whatever way you shake it, the prop firm's basically running the same way that the broker's running. It's running the same way through the markets. The money's coming from the impatient to the patient. People like you, Boston Jay, who it's unfortunate you lost your account, but you got a massive payout, right? So there's people like you having a lot of success. And on the other side, there's people that's having a ton of failure when it comes to prop firms. They're not preparing, they don't have an edge in the market. So for you, considering you've had success, like what has kind of been your edge? Like why do you think you were able to actually make money with this?
It takes a while. I'm 5 years into this journey, and so the hardest part for me was just the patience. And I think every trader will go through that. Every trader will go through similar situations. But for me, it was just being patient and understanding that the markets speak and we listen. I think I need to trademark that. The markets speak and we listen, because no matter how accurate your setup might be or how accurate you think your analysis is, if the market's not ready to go your direction, it's not ready. And so I think just, going through failing forward has helped me a lot. I've blown accounts, I've lost on trades that actually ended up going my direction. But just actually going through the process and developing into a better trader and just learning that, there's always another day to trade. And so, it just comes with time. And so just like I said, just self-developing and meeting up with other traders. And I actually have my own private group that I've been running for a couple of years now, but just having other people to bounce ideas off of and just growing together. But just understanding that I want this for the long term has helped me remain patient and want success for the future. So.
Yeah, so someone's got a question up in the general chat, and they basically said, any advice for TFT funded traders to stay in the game? So like what's allowed you to kind of maintain your account, obviously, to get a payout, passing challenges? Like I know a lot of people are having a lot of struggles when it comes to like the psychology behind actually even passing, like huge blockers. Like what advice do you have for those types of people?
So my advice would be, first of all, you have around 30 to 35 days to pass the first phase and then 60 days to pass the other. One of the first trading behaviors that most new traders exhibit is impatience. People come into this thinking that this is a get rich quick scheme. I've seen people come in and blow accounts. I've seen people come in and make 5 figures. But the thing about it is you just have to realize that there's no rush. You have plenty of time. And just based off of your account size that you're wanting to start with, you usually can drop a pretty decent lot size. You don't have to be the best trader in the world, but if you wait and you drop a decent lot size, you can catch a really, really good trade. And so one piece of advice that I really have for people from my journey and my experience is risk management is key. I got a little bit greedy last week, and what's crazy is that I got greedy last week and the trades are actually 100 pips in profit right now. So I got in the trade too early with too big of a lot size, and it ended up hurting me, But the beautiful thing about it is that trading is a skill set. Even though I lost my account, I can purchase another funded account and learn from, my previous mistakes. And so just be patient, trust your analysis. Don't, deter it. Obviously the market's condition change, but trust your analysis. I've made the most money trusting my trades and my analysis. So proper risk management and patience, and then bounce ideas off of other people if you're not the strongest trader.
Now you said that you have a group that you have. What do you like do mentorship with traders or whatnot, or you want to talk about that a little bit?
I do. So I started the group. I've been through three trading companies. My first company was I Am Academy. Then we moved on to Trade Era, and then my last company was Epic. And so I was with Epic, around this time last year, and I was trying to build the business. And so what I did is I created a free Telegram, and I had my own private chat for people, who wanted my mentorship that was in Epic. I'm no longer with the company. I honestly don't think Epic's around anymore. So I've just kind of kept that group running. I got about 35 people in there that I send signals to, that I mentor, and stuff like that. But these people have been rocking with me for a little while. And so it's a group that I kept private. I'm not trying to mentor the whole world, but I do have a free Telegram, where I kind of share my ideas and stuff for the week. So yeah, my own little private group, man.
What pairs do you actually trade?
And so right now, oh my goodness. So NZD-JPY is my favorite right now. So I've been trading NZD-JPY, Euro GBP, and AUD-USD. Those are my 3 favorite. But my ultimate favorite right now is NZD-JPY. And if this was a Zoom, I'd share my screen and I'd show y'all the market because it's looking super clean right now. But right now, my favorite is NZD-JPY.
Interesting. NZD-JPY.
NZDJPY. AU is the pair that broke my heart last week. And what's crazy is that, like I said, I got in a little too early and I felt like it was going to drop. I knew it was going to drop. It ended up pushing up on me a little bit. I was getting off work. I was kind of busy. I should have just put my phone down, closed my trades, and just took care of my business. But I was trying to do both, and it ended up burning me. But about an hour later, man, AUD USD drops like 120 pips. And so honestly, man, I'd be up 60 to 70 grand right now if I was just a little bit more patient. And so, even though I've been trading for a while, even though I understand how the markets work, I have an incredible skill set. If your discipline is not on point that day or that week, it can hurt you. And so my spirits are high because I understand the skill set that I have. So I know that I can come back and get another funded. I just have to be patient.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, considering that you lost the account, going forward, there's a lot of people that have been in your position, lost the funded account, lost the challenge account. I think almost all funded traders with us have lost a funded account at some point. I think that's the nature of the beast here is the market, if you're not being extremely conservative, can spit you like eat you up, spit you out alive, right? It's gonna get to a point where sometimes there's periods of time where the strategy is not working out as well as it can be. So how do you start from the beginning? Like, what is the psychology kind of going into that? Like, how do you build back up from just day one?
So what I usually do, psychology is the silent trading killer that nobody ever talks about. When I first started trading, nobody ever talked about the psychology. It was always indicators, indicators, indicators. I am a price action based trader. I don't use any indicators at all. You'll see on my charts, I use support and resistance and candlesticks. Candlesticks are the language of the market. And so usually what I do is I just try to work on my psychology. I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but the strategy that I use, it works. It's really accurate. And it's helped me pass, my funded account. So what I do is I just go back and I just read over a couple books. One of my most favorite right now, it's not really a book, it's a PDF file, but it's like the 25 trading rules. And it just talks about, coming back to trade for another day and being patient and stuff like that. So I just go over a couple of psychology strengthening little exercises and understand that I want this for the long term. I try to think about my son. I got a 10-year-old son. I have a grandmother. She's battling some blood pressure issues right now. So I want to be that person that takes care of the family. I want to be that person that people say, hey, this guy's really genuine. He serves the community on the ambulance, but also he helps people financially as well. And so I just try to think of things that motivate me to be, where I want to be. Mostly like my whys. Why am I doing this? I can't wait to meet Angelo and the guys one day. Can't wait to do my interview with the funded trader. And there's certain trading behaviors I have to exhibit in order to make those goals come true. So mostly it's just psychology strengthening exercises, man, just reading and thinking.
So knowing that you've made some money, I imagine that you've had some conversations with people that are at work, your friends and whatnot. I mean, what do you tell these people that you do to earn this money?
I tell them that I create multiple sources of income. Even when I got my huge payout a few months ago, I was still working on the ambulance. I went to EMT school because that's what I wanted to do. I see people at their best, and mostly I see people at their worst. So, as an EMT, I'm not doing that for the money. I'm doing it because I love it. And so since I've started the funded trader and seen how much money and profit that I can really make, it's been changing the way I'm thinking. And so what I realize is that money's not the only thing that makes me happy. Money provides the opportunities to be happy, like being able to go places and pay for things and stuff like that. But also, being able to spend time with family. And so I tell them that, I have a skill set that I've been developing for a long time, and I've learned how to make money work for me. That's the main thing. Like, as an EMT, I work for money, but as a trader, I got money chasing me. And so, I just tell them that you need to find something that you can develop that's going to help you create multiple streams. And so trading, being an EMT, and being a mentor and having my own private group helps me create multiple streams of income. And so I'm just working on strengthening them and finding that balance and building from there.
Yeah, I think it's an important note that you said, because I realize this myself, is that ultimately money is not going to solve all of your problems. One thing that even I've realized as the CEO of the Funded Trader and just in having success in entrepreneurship is you could have all the money in the world, but at the end of the day, you got to wake up and you got to look in the mirror like every other human being. And ultimately, you got to find what brings you real fulfillment. I mean, money can't bring you fulfillment. Like, sure, it can buy stuff, but you still got to do the work. There's still ways you got to figure out how to cultivate that fulfillment in your life beyond money. So I think it's important that you say that and like leveraging this as a tool to create those experiences or that space that you need, that environment that can bring you more happiness and whatnot. I mean, that's really the goal and like the best reason why to do all these things. If you're just chasing money, there's really not much of a point.
Definitely, I agree with you, man. And especially, as an EMT, I see people, like I said, at their worst, and that really makes me think, I can have all the money in the world, but if I'm not eating well and my heart's, becoming unhealthy, then I'm not going to be here long enough to enjoy that. And so, being able to, see those other experiences in my life, it really helps me think, the trading can provide the lifestyle that I want, but I still need to use, my knowledge as an EMT to, perform at my peak and to be the best person that I can. So definitely the profit is great. It really is. But, at the end of the day, we all put our pants on in the morning and, we have to look in the mirror and face ourselves. And so, that is most important, the family, the time, and everybody getting to spend that quality time together. So
now tell us, last off, tell us one story. So you're obviously working probably crazy shifts and trading. Like, what's one story where you maybe been in a trade and then you were working? And like, how did you manage it? And like, what happened?
So a lot of people probably don't know. I mean, there's many different shifts. I've been an EMT for 5 years. And one thing I will say is that firefighters get a lot more recognition than EMTs and paramedics and police do as well. And so the community are kind of, in the dark on how it works. But usually as an EMT or a paramedic on the ambulance, you're going to work a 24 or 48-hour shift. And so we do have a base, so I have a bed at work and stuff like that. So I bring my computer, I bring my, my pillow and all that. And if I'm not busy, then I can, look at my computer, I can be on my phone. And just last week, I was, this was Wednesday. So last Wednesday, I had some incredible trades going, NZD, JPY, and Euro GBP. And, I'm a swing trader. So once I place my trades, I pretty much just let them go. I'm not a scalper. I look at the monthly, weekly, and daily. So once I place my trades, I let them go. So, if I'm busy at work and I'm too busy to look at my phone, then I obviously can't place a trade, but I always have access to my phone on the ambulance. And so last week I placed a couple trades on NZD JPY mostly, and they were slapping. They were. And what I should have done is I just should have been done. I built my account back up, but I couldn't. I got greedy, and I was trying to secure some profits to take care of some bills, take care of the family. And ended up losing. And so that was a big mistake that I made. I should have separated work and trading because they're two businesses. Trading is work, and I don't want to be at work all the time. But I made the mistake of looking at the charts too much. Got a little too greedy, and it's very easy to do. And so just last week, I definitely experienced that.
Yeah, I find that greed in my life, in everything I do in business, it's the killer of all success. I mean, the more that you sit there and you plan out how you're going to make $1 million by X, Y, and Z and overthink all these things. I mean, really the less that you're going to get. So really ruling out, this greed that overtakes you, this desire to have more and have more and have more. The more you can eliminate that from your thinking, I think the more successful that you can be. You really need to be as neutral thinking as possible, almost in a way, emotionless. And when that money hits, make a 50K, make 100K, it's going to be epic. It's going to be life changing. There's going to be ways that you enjoy it, but you can't get ahead of yourself, in the moment and let these emotions overtake your actual strategy and like your plan and your trades.
Yep, and it's very easy to do. Like I said, I've been trading for a while, and the psychology is something that I am still developing. So my advice, coming from the bottom of my heart, from any trader out there listening, is that, once you have a strategy, stick to it. If you have a risk management plan, stick to it. If there's a certain percentage of your account that you're only wanting to risk, if you want to risk 1%, 3%, 4%, if you hit that limit for the day, stop and walk away and understand that, there's another trading day. And remember, you'll never go broke taking profit. And so, but at the end of the day, trading is a skill set. So don't beat yourself up too much because you can always come back. You just learn from your mistakes.
So last thing, anyone out there in the world that doesn't know about TFT right now, that doesn't know about prop firms, what would you say to these people?
I would tell them, this is something that we should have been taught in school. Even being an EMT, that's not something I learned in school. But as a networker and as somebody who's been connected to successful people, just like everybody on the Zoom, there's only a limited amount of people on the Zoom, and the reason why we're here is because we all think alike in some way. But I would tell them that everybody, we've always been taught to work for money, but nobody's ever taught us to make money work for us. We're used to clocking in and rushing to work if we're late. All to make somebody else more money than we're making. So we're going to work and we're working harder for somebody else than we do for ourselves. Jim Rohn said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. You work hard on your job, you make a living. You work hard on yourself, you make a fortune. So for these last 5 years, I've been working on myself. I've been working on my trading skill set, and I passed a 400K challenge with a funded trader and received a $30,000 payout. And so I would tell these people, I would show them the proof if they didn't believe me, even though I don't really need to, but I would tell them that, finding the skill set that you can develop can take you to, it can take you to great places. They can connect you with incredible people like yourself, Angelo. So I would just tell them that this opportunity is real. Read into it. I have the proof. I actually printed out my certificates. I actually went and got them printed out and got them framed because it meant so much to me. So I would tell them that they should look into this opportunity and get connected, join the free groups and get connected with everybody in this group and just see the results. The results speak. And so I'll just tell them that this is better than working any job. I was able to make that money and that profit and spend time with my family. It took me 30 years to buy a dirt bike. And I promise you, I bought the dirt bike with the money that I made from my first withdrawal.
Dude, that's amazing, man. Obviously, that's bro, it's incredible. And I see people commenting that the words you're saying are so powerful. But what you said resonates deeply with myself as well. Cause even myself, when I graduated college, I'm 27 now, but back when I was 21, I graduated college. I knew that I needed to work on myself. I knew that I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to start businesses. And I was a bit behind at that point because I had sacrificed so much and put so much time into this degree to only come to the realization that at the end I would never be happy with the job that I'd be able to get. So when I graduated college for a whole year, I took off. I didn't get a job. I took off. I focused on myself. I bought courses. I read books. I read 52 books the entire year. I did yoga, exercise every day. I just was as disciplined as I could with myself in order to position myself to think a certain way, to get into a certain niche, to create certain connections. And everyone thought I was insane, right? Everyone thought I was crazy. People in my circle were like, what is this guy doing, right? This guy has a degree, not getting a job, not making any income, making questionable decisions. And what I'm trying to get at is there was a group of people very much similar to myself that was out there in the world. And this is amazing. This is why it's so amazing that digitally we can all get connected through Discord, through Instagram, whatever. There was a group of people that was just like me, that was whether it was trading or just like-minded in the sense that they knew there was more. They knew they could create opportunities to make money work for themselves or to create businesses or create communities. And the people that were in my immediate environment just weren't those people. And so the big transition for me was getting out of and letting those people in my immediate environment infiltrate my thoughts, infiltrate the way that I thought, my mindset, and finding the people out there that thought like myself. And now that we have this community, I have all these people in my network, I've reshaped my entire life to be only around people who believe that we can make money work for ourselves, that we can take advantage of these crazy opportunities, that ultimately we can ourselves have the power to overcome these obstacles to become successful. So I just think it's super powerful that you mentioned that as well. I know a lot of people think similarly. You've obviously had some success and now you've actualized some of these visions that you've had, some of these dreams, buying a dirt bike, paying off some bills, right? You've gotten to a certain level. And I know there's a lot of people in here in the chat that aren't getting to that level yet or aren't quite there yet. And all I want to say to those people that are out there is myself, you, everyone else that has made a shit ton of money, that has unlocked the level of success. We've been down bad. We've been in these situations where there's a lot of doubt, right? There's a lot of doubt whether I can make this happen for me. And then you go and talk to somebody in your immediate circle and they're like, oh, why are you doing this? You're wasting time, this and that. All I can say to those people, if you're out there, if you're experiencing doubt, if you're failing the challenges, everything like that, is you got to keep going. You got to focus on yourself. You got to focus on what you need, the people that can actually help you get to where you need to go. Reach out to Boston Jay, reach out to him. He's obviously had some success. Reach out to other funded people in the group. Take advantage of the environment that we're creating, because there really is an opportunity here to make a lot of money, to do some life-changing things. But there's a reason that it's extremely challenging to get there. There's a reason that not everyone's making 200K in their payout. There's a reason people are getting a payout and failing the account. It is not an easy thing to do. So all I got to say to those people out there is you got to lock in like Boston J did. You got to lock in.
Definitely, man, definitely. And so, like I said, I'm truly blessed, and I am seeing a lot of the positive comments in the chat. I do appreciate it. I am a very humble individual, but my goal is to be the Wolf of Arkansas. That's my state. But I do want to help as many people as I can. I do sometimes share trade ideas on my stories and stuff like that. But if I gave up, I wouldn't be here. There's so many people that I've inspired recently that I used to trade with, in I Am Academy from years ago, that I've inspired to start trading again because I didn't give up. So, just stick with it. Your skill set will develop, as time goes. And so trading is real. And, I knew nothing in the beginning. And so I'm just truly blessed to be here. So please just stick with it if that's what you really want. And be patient. Be patient.
Well, that being said, where can the people find you? You want to drop your social links in the general?
Yeah. So I'm more active on Instagram and Snapchat, but I will drop my Instagram link. I'll drop it in the general chat. You'll see there that my name is Zach's right hand man, and Zach is my son. I love my son to death. You'll see a bunch of pictures of us. But like I said, we're from Arkansas. A lot of people think we're just country boys. And we actually are. We do a lot of fishing and dirt bike riding and shooting guns and stuff. But I'll drop my Instagram link in the general chat.
Let's go. Well, dude, I appreciate you hopping on, obviously taking the time to share your story. And there's more to come. Your head's down onto the next challenge. And obviously, we're going to stay connected here and throughout the group. And again, can't thank you enough for hopping on.
No problem at all. I do appreciate the opportunity, man. It's what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to tell my story, so I'm glad I was able to at least a little bit. No problem, brother.
Yeah, and like you said, there's definitely going to be a time when we do the meetup. We're trying to get more and more meetups going with TFT, and much like yourself, like you're positioning yourself to be the Wolf of Arkansas, however you want to put it. Like I said this to somebody today because I had this meeting today with somebody who helps communities basically create mobile apps, and then like within that mobile app, they can create an environment for everybody to participate and whatnot, yada, yada, yada. But I was telling him and I was like, dude, we have such an amazing story because the movie Wolf of Wall Street, like what was the best part of the entire movie? It's when that guy was like, show me 70K and I'll quit my job right now, right? Like that is the best part. Like I can't even tell you how many times I've rewatched the movie, and that was the best part of the movie. And literally, like our community is like a real life version of this movie. Like it's insane.
Yeah, man. And the 30K profit that I made, I mean, obviously it was life changing. But honestly, like on a personal level, I just felt like, it was about time. I felt like I should have did this a while ago. But like I said, there's levels to it. And I really feel like I earned it. Those were my trades and the time that I dedicated. But yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. Somebody showed me that I can make money outside of my job. And I told them that I dedicate time to that. And here I am. So, the results speak. They do.
Yeah. And anything in life, we don't deserve anything. I don't care where you live. I'm in Florida. You could live in anywhere in the world. And God knows there's a lot of people from a lot of countries in this group, in this call right now. You can be anywhere in the world, and this simple concept applies. We don't deserve anything. We really don't. We have to earn what's ours. Everyone does. I know there's certain levels to social class, whatever, but at the end of the day, to live a truly great life, we have to earn what is ours. So you went out there, obviously you earned your keep. And one thing that I took note of what you said, which is very important to me, is that when it was time, when you got the payout, you deserve, like, you earned it. That was the point at which you earned it. Like, there's no question that should have been yours. And everyone's got to really look themselves in the mirror. Like, sure, you could get lucky every now and then, but when you're positioned to get that payout, did you earn that payout? And if you did, if you truly believe you did, deep in your being, you're not only going to get that payout, you're going to get a lot more, because this is exactly the person that you're becoming, the person that deserves these opportunities. And it's because you put in the work at the end of the day.
Sure, definitely, man. And so that's why I try to tell all new people, everybody wants to come into Forest and get rich quick. I did, came in over leveraging, but it was something that I wanted long term. So I understood that if I wanted to be here, then I had to be patient. Because one thing people really don't think about is when we show up to work, there's already a set amount of money we're going to make that day. You're going to make this much money per hour for this many hours. And we're okay with that. And that's how most people live, working the 9 to 5 for the rest of our lives. But
for the man, bro, working for the man.
Yeah, working for the man. And then we come into Forex and we see more money than we make a week and we don't close it. We close it. And and I can go on and on. I'm not trying to take up the whole stage, but I've just learned a lot. And coming from a small town in Arkansas, and I lost my dad at an early age. Me and my mom aren't close. My grandma raised me. So coming from somebody who just really didn't have the lavish lifestyle or the most extravagant childhood, and to be on this Zoom with you guys is just it's mind blowing. It really is. But I feel like it's for a reason. Some things can't be explained, but I do believe everything happens for a reason. And so I have a lot to learn. There's people that who may be up next that I can listen to, and so we all have different stories. And I just believe that with a little bit of knowledge that we've all had through life, that we can help each other. And so it's a journey. It really is.
Dude,
I love Forex. I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. I really do, man. It is literally the fastest way that I found to make money legally.
In trading, it's obviously a very, very crazy opportunity, and I cover this in this video that we're gonna come out with again. That's talking about our prop firm's a scam and whatnot. And it's like the money you're putting up for the amount of money that you can trade. Leverage aside, drawdown aside, right? People make all these arguments about, with a prop firm, you get this amount of drawdown, you get this amount of leverage. All these things aside, if there's a trusted source where you can go, if you trade that challenge and you pass, you're going to get paid out and you're going to get access to 10x what you paid up front, right? This is an opportunity that seriously is almost too good to be true.
Definitely. It really is, man. And I was kind of skeptical of the prop firms at first, just because I hadn't done my research. But once I actually started doing a little bit of research, and once I actually passed my funded and got, which I knew it was legit and everything, but I just felt like I would do better on my own, and researching the funded trader, purchasing the whatever account that I wanted, and making that leap has literally changed my life. That was one of the best decisions I ever made for my personal trading career. And so I don't trade my own personal account anymore. There's no need to. Once you get good enough, you use OPM, other people's money, to leverage yourself to success. And so I'm just going to sit back, be in the lab, look at some charts, and give me purchase another funded here soon, and just leverage myself to success.
Literally, the key to life is OPM, guys. Use other people's money, gain skills, gain leverage, gain opportunities for people to invest in, and then just share those ideas, share those opportunities with people that have money. Trust me, people with money are always looking for other ways to make money with their money. That's what people with money do. That's it. So acquire the skills so you guys can put yourself in position to take advantage.
Definitely. I agree with you 100%. So, Angelo, thank you for everything that you've done for us and other people. You know, you're the CEO. I know there's other people in the background that help this dream come true. But from the bottom of my heart and the people that are surrounded by me, we appreciate you, bro, because it's helping us become better, you know. And I'm truly blessed. I'm happy to be here. I'm here for the long run, bro. I am.
Let's get it, bro. Yeah, it's truly man, it's a fucking battle out here, right? It's TFT. We say a lot about the kingdom, the empire, all this, medieval jargon, but like it truly is a battle out here, guys, in this world that we live in. To be successful in anything, to be a prop firm, to be a trader with a prop firm, to be anything, to be an EMT, it truly is a battle out here to survive at the end of the day. And that's why we gotta take every day with a grain of salt. Like, we don't actually know if we're going to get tomorrow. And that's the legit truth. And that's why we got to be grounded. We got to be humble in what we're doing, because at the end of the day, we truly do not know if we get tomorrow. That's why we got to make the best decisions we can today and take advantage of these opportunities. So, bro, thanks for hopping on. We're going to get a few more people to hop on and speak, but I can't thank you enough for sharing all that. That was honestly pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, man, no problem. I appreciate you, and there's more to come. But thank you for everybody who's listening, and I just want to be an inspiration to as many people as I can, and the same here. I want to learn from other people. So thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Let's get it. Enjoy the night, bro. All right, so we got signs effects. You posted a question in here. I believe this is for me. If this isn't too intrusive, what age range are you? When you were younger, did you know what trading was? What age did you first learn about trading? When did you hear about it? And did you think you'd be running a prop firm when you were younger? So I want to start off with the age. So I'm 27. I always knew about investing. I actually wanted to. I think I learned about investing from some movie where some kid was investing in the movie when he was super young, and I asked my parents if I could invest, and my parents personally never gave me a dollar. They put a roof over my head, and they certainly gave me a lot of support, but one thing my parents certainly didn't do is give me any money at all. And I even mean this by saying that, and specifically my father, guy never even gave me a gift, I'm going to be honest. And this is something that now I learned was a very important thing to understand. But long story short, he didn't want to allow me to get into, trading when I was younger or whatever. So as soon as I turned 18, I took the money I had. I was working Panda Walk, delivering Chinese food. And I took the money I had, I put it into trading. I bought some tech stocks. I had some other ways to get money too. And I made some money with trading. And that was my first experience. And I was like, shit, I'm addicted to this. This is a surefire way I'm going to become a millionaire by next year. But at that, obviously that didn't happen right away. And did I think I was going to be running a prop firm at that age? No. Did I know what prop firms were? Yes. I did know what prop firms were. I believe the ones like SMB Capital with Mike Bellafiore. I read his book, The Playbook, one of the better books. If you guys haven't read that book, if you guys are serious about trading, you need to read that book. It's a long book. It's hard to read. It's a lot of charts, a lot of graphs, a lot of like in-depth about technicals, but he shares a lot of stories in that book about the successful trader, about the journey of somebody inside of their prop firm. They run a prop firm. So inside what they do to coach these people up. And the book, The Playbook, is basically him. The story is basically, not the story, but what they do is every trader, they have them create this playbook for themselves. They go through the first year or 2 years, creating all these setups, creating all these scenarios that they can best play according to their emotions, according to how they interpret the charts. And the hope is after 2 years, they have this extensive playbook, this extensive set of setups that they know they can take that will always make them and the firm money. So if you guys haven't looked into that book, definitely suggest it. It's called The Playbook. I think it's like kind of expensive, but you can get the PDFs online. So yeah, definitely look into that. And yeah, so when I was younger, didn't necessarily think I'd be running a prop firm, but at the same time, I know that it's even beyond starting a prop firm, what my destiny essentially is. And this is really just part of me getting into that position. So let's get into some other people. I know there's some other people on the AMA right now. So if anyone else wants to unmute themselves and go ahead, feel free to take the floor here. We got Ranger Rick.
Yeah, I actually the little background about myself. I kind of just found trading about 2 months ago, and I've been hopping on some demos, and kind of getting a feel for how everything works and reading books and stuff like that. So I just opened my first challenge on Friday. I'm in my last semester of college right now. Kind of just realized that, I'm not really doing what I want to do. Getting a job next year or once I graduate, not really what I'm planning on.
Dude, you sound just like me when I just graduated. I was about to graduate.
That's kind of what's spawned this question. And I've always felt like I had a pretty strong support circle around me up until I started expressing that this is something I would like to pursue. And I've always been a really big believer in, if you have a plan B, plan A is not going to work.
Yeah.
So I got some savings lined up for the next couple months. And after I graduate, I'm planning on trying to pursue this full time. And I've had almost zero support from most of my support circle about that, where it's kind of drawn me to just not telling people about what I'm planning on doing at this point. And I'm kind of wondering how, it sounded like both of you guys kind of went through that. I'm kind of wondering how you guys dealt with that.
Yeah, so I can sort of answer. So obviously sucks that, you're in the position you're in the sense that you're graduating, you necessarily, or it doesn't suck. It's actually a good opportunity that you're in, because you're realizing like, shit, my purpose is not to work this job. I don't know what industry you're going to be in, whatever. But you're like, my purpose is not to do this thing that I just spend so much time for. I need to find something that can give me more mobility, that can give me more freedom, that can help me unlock this lifestyle, this path that I want for myself, right? It's amazing that you've come to these conclusions enough to put yourself in these quote unquote controversial conversations and confrontations, with your support system. Now, personally, in my own experiences, in telling people that I'm going to be an entrepreneur and I'm going to, trade and I'm going to start these businesses, it really comes down to this: talking with anyone who has not experienced success at a level of maybe in entrepreneurship in general, or even more specifically with trading. It's kind of like it's a dead end road talking to these people. There's no way that they have it in them to support you in that area, because they simply don't believe in it themselves. They simply have never had that level of success themselves. If you tell Boston, who've done these things, is it possible? Is what I'm doing the right path? Whatever. Is this something that I should do? I mean, I'm going to say, shit, I've seen people do crazier things and make a shit ton of money. Why can't you do this, right? So it all comes down to the people you're talking to. What are their perspectives? And one thing that I want to say to you, because this is a lesson I learned in my life, is early on when I took this kind of path to head down and I was like, I'm going to trade, whatever, I shut out a lot of people, cut out a lot of people in my life that didn't support me. And looking back, some of those people I probably shouldn't have cut out. Yes, was it maybe necessary, and did it get to where I needed to be? Yeah, but at the same time, could I maybe handled some things differently? Could I maybe have learned earlier on that these people just simply don't have it in them to support me because they don't believe in it themselves? Like, yeah, I could have been a little bit better with that. And that's something that a financial advisor of mine, he told me, and he was like, listen, like, Angelo, your father, he doesn't know about entrepreneurship. He was a cop. Like, he got paid by the government. When you tell him you're going to pull your 401k and invest money in the markets and start a trading empire and all this stuff, he gets scared, and he's your father, and he wants you ultimately to be secure and to be safe. And he doesn't feel as though that's the path that's going to get you there. So, ultimately, what he told me was, you're asking the wrong man for advice. You're asking the wrong people for where to go. And you got to start asking the people that are successful for where you want to be. and those people aren't going to critique you. You know, they're going to give you advice. They're going to provide you with mentorship, a lane, you know, some type of idea to go in, some type of direction. You know, that's kind of what you need to look for. And obviously, it sounds like you started recently. I mean, you're ripping demo accounts and now you're getting into trading the challenges. And I think one thing for you that could be really beneficial is trying to get in touch with people that are in the Discord that have had success and try to build relationships with them or figure out what communities they're in outside of Funded Trader. I think it's amazing that you found the Funded Trader. I'm very interested as to how you found it, but I think that the fact that you found it so early on and now you're like on the path, because one of the things that I think is so amazing about the prop industry is that these restrictions that are put on you, to the drawdown, the lot size restrictions, all these things, yeah, do they suck? Yeah, but at the same time, this is what people managing large amounts of capital, this is what they do. They take small risk, they have substantial capital, they make large gains while taking small risk. So we're truly pushing you to be a professional, to handle this like a business, not to just try to flip $100 to $5,000, like all this bullshit guru Instagram YouTuber shit, flipping accounts from $500 to $50,000. It's all bullshit. No one's doing that. They own the brokers, right? They can manipulate the accounts. Funded companies third-party verify people's results. So if you want to gain legitimacy, Ranger Rick, trading with, whether it's us, FTMO, whomever, trading with us, handing someone the certificate that you got when you passed, and then showing them a slip of you making X amount of money, even if it's only $1,000. I mean, what more legitimacy do these people want that you're taking advantage of an opportunity that's available to really anyone? I mean, more power to you for putting yourself out there and believing in yourself enough to fucking put it all on the line.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate that. And to answer your question, I actually have a challenge going on right now with FPMO, and something you mentioned earlier about having the two different prop firms. That's kind of why I ended up finding you guys, is to get a second challenge going. So if I was getting paid out with one, I could trade the other and not miss those days. But that's kind of where I found you, and you were on the top of the list of most top 10 websites that I found. So I figured it was pretty safe.
Yeah, one thing I want to ask is, considering how new you are, like, what is kind of your strategy, and like, how did you learn and stuff? Like, what's kind of your journey been like so far?
The kind of start of my journey, I had a friend post something on his Snapchat story of 500 to 50,000 in 10 days or something, and that got me interested. So I slid up and kind of asked him what it was about, and he mentioned he does leverage trading and to look into it. And so I started doing some Googling. I can't remember the author, but I ended up buying a technical analysis of the financial markets, giant technical analysis book, and opening a demo after I'd read a couple chapters of that, and didn't really have much success with that. So after I finished most of that and skipped a few of the chapters that didn't seem relevant, I bought two more books. One of them was Day Trading the Financial Markets, I think was the name. And the other one was Trading in the Zone. And I was kind of trading multiple demos throughout that, because I had learned already about the prop firm challenges. And so I was trying to, my goal was to pass 3 demos with the prop firm rules before I ended up getting a challenge. And so recently the book, it might have just been experience and failing those demos and passing others. But recently I just finished Trading in the Zone. And I think while it was a really repetitive book, I think it put me in a better mindset of where I needed to think and how I needed to act while I was trading. And I've had some success with that. And then while I was reading that, I was also watching a bunch of the ICT videos on YouTube. And so now I've just passed my 3rd demo. And so I figured it was time to get a challenge.
The old ICT videos. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people that have watched those that have had success, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, once I started watching those, I don't know if it was exactly those videos that made it click, or if it was something else. But once I started watching those videos and going back through charts, I was like, wow, like I can actually pick winning trades now. And then I, incorporated that book and the stuff I learned in that, and I just started finding a lot of success pretty fast with it. I've made a couple mistakes recently, just getting nervous with the challenges, but I think it's looking good right now at least.
Yeah, so I'm just pulling up right now because, I want you and really anyone else to realize what's going on here. So this whole prop firm trading, everything in general, I mean, man, it's definitely not easy. Like, it's definitely not an easy thing to do by any means. Now, the people that are taking approaches, even similar to you, I mean, it's kind of surprising how calm and collected you are and how early you are. What is your background? Like, what did you go to school for?
I'm doing mechanical engineering.
Oh yeah, so you're definitely. I found that engineers are just like wicked good with like putting things together and figuring out ways to make things successful. Like it's insane. Like how it's insane the success rate of engineers when it comes to solving problems. I'll put it like that.
The way I've kind of described engineering school to most people that ask me about it is that they're really just teaching you how to look at patterns and solve problems based on that. And the second I bought that technical analysis book is right whenever I decided that this is something I wanted to pursue and make a reality out of it, because all it really seemed like was looking at patterns and figuring out what was what, making decisions based on that.
Yeah, bro. So my partner, Carlos, who most of you may know, or if you're new, don't know, he's an engineer, really the guy behind the scenes that is the reason that TFT is here today. I reached out to him because of the fact that he was an engineer. He had showed me different things that he was doing on his own when it came to e-commerce and just tax strategies and things in general, like learning things so quickly. And I was like, this is the guy. So if when I hear that someone else is like an engineer at this point, I just kind of chalk it up that like they're going to have some level of success because life is just about problem solving and handling things in a common collective way and creating some sort of methodology, some sort of way that you can confidently say that you have a strategy to go about things and then moving with conviction, in that thought. And I think that's what engineers really do is they figure out a way to have that like ultimate confidence in what they do. I'm looking at people who've gotten paid out this past year, and there's groups of people who've just gotten multiple payouts. So they're obviously the most consistent people. And like just in 2022, we've got people that got paid out 120K, 53K. I know one person's gotten paid out 300K. This person's got paid out 27 times. Let's see, 100K in payouts, just about. Really, the people that have the discipline, that have the strategies, they're here making money, 57K. So yeah, like I think the opportunity for you is definitely possible. It's definitely there. Obviously, I hope that the support system turns around. At the end of the day, like I had so much resistance personally in my own trading journey and entrepreneurship journey, and you know what? When it came down to it, when I went to my parents and everyone that doubted me, quote unquote. I mean, when these people saw what I was doing and the results that I was having, these people end up, either becoming jealous and envious or literally hugging you with joy because they can't believe what's going on. So I'll just say this, man, if you believe in yourself enough, then you really should just keep going, because the life that you can unlock by going down this path of just entrepreneurship, trading, business in general, this life is how life is deserved to be lived. Like I was playing tennis with this instructor, he's in college, and he was telling me all his friends are at BlackRock, or not BlackRock, but are at Ivy League schools, right? They're going into consulting and yada, yada, yada. And he wants to be entrepreneurial. And they're all like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to work for a big company. And I'm like, you know what? Let them get controlled by the man. I'd rather be the man. I'd love for those people to work for me, right? Those people are going to end up working for me. And if you have success in trading, guess what? You're going to have money, and then you're going to be making investments, and then you're going to have people that are going to end up working for you. So just comes down to how much do you believe in yourself and what path do you want to go down and where do you want to end up being? Will you see it through? You just got to put in the work.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah. So Ranger Rick, obviously wish you the best, with the challenges, keep going. And, yeah. So if anyone else wants to hop on, we got Mr. Aloha here. You got a pretty cool, picture going on. The guy from Lilo and Stitch. What's going on, Mr. Aloha? If not for him, I saw Triggers. You came on. I know you've been DMing me a little bit too.
The question I have for you, most of the questions that I wanted to ask, well, you and Boston's conversation, well, answered most of them. I really appreciate the guy, Boston. He's good, and I really appreciate everything he shared to everyone here. And but I think I still have a question for you. Yeah, the last EMA we had, you said something about knowing what you want to like become, and setting kind of your priorities, your routine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so I want to ask you, like, what criteria do you look at in, creating your, daily routine and, becoming like keeping discipline to it? Understand, like how you combine your trading life with business and entrepreneurship and also your personal life. How you like just create a general routine for everything and then be disciplined to the routine at the same time. Because creating a routine is one thing and being disciplined, being disciplined to follow it, how you created it is kind of another thing entirely. So how do you go about that?
Yeah. So to break this down a little deeper is what I would recommend anyone to start with, and this is how I start to break down what my daily routine should be. What should I be doing with my time when I'm doing my quote unquote self-development, right? You need to really figure out what are your insecurities? What are your weaknesses? What are the things that are holding you back from money pouring into your lap? And what I mean by that is when you don't have blockers, when you're open, when you feel as though you deserve these things to come your way, these opportunities will be hitting you left and right. When you're being held back by some insecurity, and for example, this insecurity might be, I feel as though I'm inexperienced, or I feel as though I'm a bit uneducated on this certain topic, or when it comes to trading, I feel as though in trading, this certain concept, or while I'm maintaining my order more specifically, or closing orders or whatever, I don't feel comfortable, in that scenario. So you have to identify first, what is the biggest insecurities in your life? That might be trading, or that might just be in general and personal. What are those insecurities? And then those habits, those routines that you create, every action you take should be an action towards absolving that insecurity, towards building more experience, towards building yourself up, building more confidence, because that's ultimately what's going to make you more successful, but it's also what's going to bring you more happiness. So that's how I break it down, is you got to identify what are these insecurities, and then you got to identify what actions can bring up those areas, those weaknesses to make you better.
Yeah, I really get it. Thank you very much for that. Also, how do you kind of overcome greed in your trading? Because most time I noticed I have a profitable strategy here. I trade smart money concepts, which is very profitable. But most times, when you place a trade and you see your trade drawing a profit and possibly, okay, yes, your trading rules, you have a set amount and like you set targets, like maybe you 10%, 15%, 5% on every trade or stuff like that. And you take profit, and then once that money just gets in, the next thing you kind of get very greedy and you want to take the next trade, and the next thing you're not even following your rules anymore. You just happen to just be taking invalid trades. When you come back to check the trades, you'll be like, Well, the street is not even like it's not following my rules at all. Like, so why was I even taking the street? What got into me? And before you know, you've lost all the profits you actually made. Okay, you have a good risk management, but your risk management is okay. You put stop loss for every trade you take, risking just 1% or 0.5% of the account, and then before you know, you find out that the whole profit you made, you blown it out again. You're starting from scratch. I'm like, what just happened? And it's like, seriously, yeah. How do you kind of, overcome greed in certain scenarios? Because most times it really gets out of hand.
Yeah, so I want to relate this to something more relevant to myself right now is there's a lot of opportunities that are coming at me right now, and surely I can take advantage. And much like trading, there's a lot of trades that are presenting themselves in the market that you can take, quote unquote, right? And for me, all these opportunities that are coming to me, if I pounce on every opportunity, if I'm working 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours a day, right, and I'm paying attention to all of these things. Maybe in the case of trading, I'm seeing a lot of my secondary setups or third setups that I'm confident in. I might end up focusing all of my energy on those secondary, on those third concepts, and I either might miss my most profitable setup, my most profitable entry, or in my case, I might not focus as much on my most profitable business, on my most profitable opportunity, and then I'll be the master of none. I'll be focusing on these third and second concepts. When those fail, psychologically, it's going to impact me a lot more, especially knowing that I didn't focus on my bread and butter and then I'm seeing my bread and butter decrease in value. That's psychologically going to hit you even more. So, really just understand you said you have a strategy, profitable strategy. What are your best setups? What is your bread and butter? Focus on those and don't sacrifice time to focus on these secondary and third setups or concepts or opportunities. Don't put as much time into those as you do looking for that bread and butter. And just overall, you got to just set limits for yourself and just be extremely disciplined, as hard as it is.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you for that. Yeah, I really get the concept. I really get the concept. Currently, I'm actually a student. Okay, I'm studying public health administration in the university, and I'll be graduating very soon, though. But do you think do you think it's like okay to sacrifice certain things, just to focus on? Because the way I see it all my life, okay, when I was growing up, I always had in mind always wanted to become a doctor, I wanted to become a doctor, I wanted to like study medicine, I help people, treat people. Yeah, that has always been my dream right from small. But well, here in our country, things doesn't just go out as you planned, especially when it comes to our education system. It doesn't really go as you plan it. And so growing up, I had to, kind of have a change of mind, see things differently, try to see the world differently. It doesn't really, as since I know it doesn't go as planned, I need to actually have like a plan B, like it's something else I can, fall back on. Okay, so I started learning the financial market and stuff like that. So I've been learning financial markets for like 2-3 years now, learning how to trade and stuff like that. But well, do you think it's better to just forget, like sacrifice those goals, to focus on this one, then maybe possibly in the future, you can now fall back on your kind of your actual dream or actual, because I feel, because when I read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, after reading that book gave me kind of an insight that where the money is actually in financial markets. It's in accounting that has to do with money, okay? Like you have to, know about accounting if you want to actually know how to manage money. When it comes to education wise, like I know nothing about accounting, okay? So I started, brushing up my knowledge on accounts and started knowing things about the financial market and things that, can help you, generate income, how to build multiple income streams and stuff like how to invest and other things. which definitely they will not teach you in school, especially not in my line of study. Okay, so do you think it's wise or it's okay for me to like just like sideline, like for instance, sideline the medicine or okay, like my public health administration that I'm actually studying currently for the financial market, or to learn how to trade, to learn how to invest, to learn how to go into entrepreneurship. And because I always want to like, my new mindset is like to become an entrepreneur. Like I told you earlier, so most of these goals you set for yourselves are like some of the goals I actually set for myself. That's why I actually look up to you a lot. So do you think it's okay to sideline the like my health like aspect and to focus on the financial aspect?
So this is my advice, and I really say this to anybody out there is, first of all, if you have a career, if you're of his studies, I'm personally someone who's very pro college, pro getting an education. I'm going to be honest. I think becoming intellectual in the sense of giving yourself time to think, to understand more about who you are, right? All these things, I think it's important. I think it's important to the development of the human being. That being said, I don't believe that focusing on many things at one time is the most beneficial thing in the world. And I say this because for myself, I went to school, right? I took a year off after school. I focused entirely on entrepreneurship. I went heads down. I figured out the niche I wanted to be in, what I wanted to do, yada, yada. That returned riches to me later, right? Then I got a job. I was working the job. I was building Forex League, trading it, in the meantime while I had the job. And I just didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough time, but I got to the point where I was making money with trading and everything else. And at that point, when I had started making money, that's when I realized I need to go all in, right? I need to quit this job. And that's what I did. I quit the job. I put in my resignation. I went all in on trading, went all in on Forex League, all in on business, entrepreneurship. And that's what propelled me to end up in the position to even have the opportunity to start the Funded Trader, to start these other businesses that I'm involved with, because of the fact that I was all in. I was waking up like a maniac, telling my parents I'm going to the office. I had a rented office space, Forex League logo on the wall, 30 or 42-inch ultra-wide monitors that we bought on the fucking walls. We had the fucking office going, and my parents are like, this kid's a fucking maniac. Guy quit his job, pharmaceutical, corporate company, making great money, right? And I went all in, and that's the only reason that I'm here where I am today, because I'm all in. And now with my life that I have now, with this community, Funded Trader, everything else I have going on, it's because I'm all in. So my advice to you is, if you can't feed yourself, you don't have money, you need to have a job. You need to continue to go to school, get educated, get a job. Once you are making money with trading, once you're making money with business, and you have a bit of a cushion, you got to go all in. It's just what you got to do. It's how you're going to be successful.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Angelo. I really appreciate. I think that's all the questions I have for now. I really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bro. No, I can't say enough how much I appreciate the support that you and everyone else. And we are all the same. We literally are all the same. We're all human beings. We all have similar opportunities. I chose like a maniac for the last 6 years to wake up every day and not think about anything else besides trading, literally Forex, business, entrepreneurship, reading, cutting people out that weren't on the same path. I chose that, and I looked at my life, I looked at the entire world, and I said, I'm up against everyone in the world, and if I'm working 10 times harder than everyone out there, guess what? I'm going to have an edge. I'm going to end up getting ahead. I'm going to end up doing something really amazing. So I think anyone has the potential to tap into these opportunities that are out there. That being said, we are going to wrap up the AMA. I appreciate all the support. Obviously, best of luck this week with the accounts, and that's it. So another AMA in the books, and I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.